I'll start again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Right, you all know the introduction, journaling. Somewhere along the line, we will do the color directory again. We've gone through the Quran city map. But I'd like to go through the focus points because we didn't do them last time, okay? So, surah number 1, summary of the Quran. It should now come out of your ears. Surah Al-Baqarah? History of faith, exactly. Al-Imran, Muslim identity. And it should literally come like, the back of your hand. Nisa, manifestation, and it comes as respect for women. Okay, Ma'idah, perfection of religion. An'am, practical tawheed, they made up their own rules, right? A'raf, rejection of divine guidance. Okay, Anfal, do you remember Anfal? Characteristics of believers. I need you to keep that in your mind today. 9, Tawbah, hypocrisy, exposed. 10, Yunus, it's never too. Oh, here you are, you're good at this. Okay, 11, Hud. Lessons of past prophets. 12, Yusuf, trust in Allah. You remember, right? 13, Ra'ad. Change can only happen if you change yourself. 14, du'as of Prophet Ibrahim. 15, Hijr, any idea? The Prophet and the Quran need no validation from anybody else. Okay, Nahl. Life has a purpose. 17, Isra. The Quranic version of the 10 commandments. Okay, Kahf. Tests, divine tests. Okay, Maryam. Again, trust in Allah, but he talked about Maryam and Prophet Isa. Okay, Taha. Do you remember who he talked about? Musa. Moment you think Taha, you think Musa. Okay. 21. It talked about accountability. Surah Al-Anbiya talked about accountability. Okay. Surah Al-Hajj, the rights of Hajj, and what else? What else did we? We talked about this, okay, because that's what we did last time I saw you before Yasin. The formula for success on the day of Qiyamah. Now, I think the surah we're doing today, and that's my perception, is probably one of the most important surahs in the Quran. Because in essence, it talks about, and I'll go over each ayah in a minute, it talks about success in a way no other surah talks about. The reason why I asked you to think about Surah Al-Anfal was Surah Al-Anfal talked about the characteristics of believers. And that's exactly what Surah Al-Mu'minun does. Surah Al-Mu'minun tells you who mu'mineen are. So your focus is the characteristics of believers versus those who don't believe. Now, it's not rocket science, and I'll start off with the first ayah so you'll understand what I'm talking about. It says, قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Now, I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking to you about قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. قَدْ in the Arabic language means it's done, khalas. There's no two ways about it. It's not like it will happen. I don't know what your translation says. Or successful indeed are the believers. Qad literally means this is a done deal. It's something like when you get a visa, or when you get the right to stay somewhere, or you get the citizenship somewhere. You know you are part of that country. Khalas, there's no two ways about it. So qad means it is done. It's always there. So what is done? Aflaha. Now I need to know a little bit about aflaha. Falah is a farmer. The aflaha is literally when the farmer puts his pitchfork, you know that fork, into the earth and he turns it over. Now the farmer does that 2 times in a year. The first time he does it is when he's planting the seeds. The second time he does it is when he harvests the seed. In any country of the world, there is something called Harvest Festival. Whether you live in the east or the west or the north or the south, whether you're Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whoever you are, there is a harvest festival. Because unlike those of us who get a salary every month, the farmer only gets his, inverted bracket, salary at harvest time. Because he plants, or she plants, and then she has to wait until the harvest time to get their salary. So aflaha is that part. If you say, I know it says hayya al falah, it means they are indeed, they have got their harvest. Now who have got their harvest? Mu'minun. Now I know I'm gonna spend some time on here because all of you here, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Amanu is a word. Mu'minun is a noun. A verb is unstable because it has a past, a present, and a future. I may be good yesterday, can't guarantee I'll be good today and tomorrow. Mu'minun means it's khalas. It's a noun. They are indeed successful. They have already been successful. Now, if you and I were told that if you have these 13 qualities, you will definitely go to Jannah. It's not rocket science to make a list and say, I need to follow this. It's not something that you could even think about. If somebody told you, you have these 13 things, that's it, all done. Salam, how are you? Like hugging her, okay? So, if you have these 13 qualities, you're done. That's what you would do. And I think what we sent to you on the WhatsApp group was the 13 things we did with the children. Okay? So, Surah Al-Anfal starts it off. And if you look at Surah Al-Hajj, I'd like you to look at ayah 77. We did that. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu irqa'u wasjudu wa'budu rabbukum waf'alu khair la'allakum tuflihun. So that you may be successful. And then this surah starts with Qad aflahal mu'minun. Now who is successful? Now we're going to look at all 13, so we'll go back and forth, okay? So the first one, alladhina hum fi salatihim khashiyun. Those who have khushu in their salah. Now I'd like to just, especially in salah they have khushu. If somebody tells you that especially in salah they have khushu, it means all the other times they have khushu as well, right? Now the reason why I'm not saying the English word for khushu is generally translated, I know it says humble here, but generally translated of somebody who recognizes who they're praying to. If I recognize the role of my mother, then I have khushu towards her. If I recognize the role of the volunteer in the community, then I will have khushu towards her or him. In the same way, alladhina hum fi salatihim khashiyun. As soon as they stand for salah, there is khushu. In your language and my language, it means that for that particular period of time, I cut myself off from everything. My phone goes off. All right, if you have young children, it's a different thing altogether. But your phone goes off, everything goes off, and you focus only on your salah. I'll go a step forward. If you find you don't have time, just do the wajibat. Nobody's asking for extra mustahabat. I don't know where that came from. Add those in if you have to, if you've got the time. But just the wajibat, total khushu, total connection with Allah. Nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. So it starts off, the first thing they have is alladhina hum fi salatihim khashiyun. I said there's 13, right? Are you good with that? Okay, fine. Next one. Walladhina hum anil laghwi mu'ridun. Arada means you turn away. Laghaw means anything that has no benefit. If something does not benefit you in the dunya or the akhirah, then one of the signs of these people who are mu'minun, who are definitely successful, is that they will do nothing that has no benefit in the dunya or the akhirah. Nobody can tell you this has no benefit or not. Only you can. So if I was watching a Pakistani play, for example, and I'm learning from it, you can't tell me that I'm doing something wrong. You can't. I know whether this is right or wrong. I know whether I'm learning or I'm not. Maybe I'm learning sabr from it. I don't know. I really don't know. If I'm watching an English movie, I don't know. And nobody can put a finger on me and say, you are doing this and you are therefore one of these people. No. Or you're not one of these people. It's entirely up to the human being. I know when I'm dossing around and doing nothing. Okay. You're all right. If I think that allowing myself to rest, I need that rest to be able to do something. So I need to watch some whatever it is. It's okay. You need that rest. So you're the only person who can judge. Nobody can tell you. So if you're telling your child, excuse me, why are you sitting there? Maybe they need that break. Who knows? They know themselves. Okay, so here it says, وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. When they see something that does not have any benefit, they keep away from it. Right? Okay, next one. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. Forget about the zakah that you're talking about. Here, this zakah is talking about a constant improvement. Zakah means self-purification, not the zakah that you give, not the 2.5% that you give. This zakah is talking about they're constantly improving themselves. I'm better than what I was yesterday. I've changed something in myself. Shaban, amazingly awesome month because you're coming to the month of Ramadan. And next week, I mean, you can't have anything like the 15th of Shaban. And change things. Anything can change. Okay, so we'll talk about that when we have some time. Next one. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. Now, when this goes on to the next ayah, which says, إِلَّا عَلَى أَزْوَاجِهِمْ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ فَإِنَّهُمْ غَيْرُ مَلُومِينَ. Basically, these two ayat, that 5 and 6, literally mean that they are decent. They're not indecent. And they respect family values. I can just give you those two sentences. There is decency in the way they behave. There is integrity in the way they behave. The way they say things, there is a decency in it. And they respect family values. That's basically what these two ayat are saying. You will not see them indecent or saying indecent words or anything like that. They will not use those words at all. And they will restrict themselves when it comes to permissiveness. They will not go beyond that, okay? They will not watch it. When I was a child, I remember, we had this have you seen the old TVs, really fat things, really big things, right? So we had this big TV. And my aunt, it's my fui, my father's sister, used to sit near it. And there used to be cover on top of the television. Even if somebody was holding hands, she'd put the cover down. She'd say, oh, astaghfirullah, naraji. And these days, you sit with your children, and we watch things that, oh my goodness, you think, how am I going to watch this? So this is what this is talking about. There is integrity. I never realized the value of her sitting near the TV and putting this thing up and down, until today. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now, this is not, I haven't mentioned it in the 13, but I'll take that as 14, because Imam Zamana is in Ghaiba, right? So this is the Ghaiba one. 13 plus 1, which is this one, except those, and it says, these people cross the line. So those, it's not saying the good people. It's saying except those who cross the line, who cross the limits. Now, I'd like to put this in a way that you and I understand. In life, you and I have boundaries. We create boundaries. We ourselves create boundaries. I will not cross this particular line. That's it. So these people will cross any line for their benefit. Okay? Not the ones who are good, eh? The others. Okay, good. Right, these good people who want to go to Jannah. And it's actually a progression. You will find that you'll be able to trust them. They will never go back on their word. If you gave them something, they will look after them. The Prophet was known as Al-Amin, one whom you could give something to, and he was trustworthy. Whenever, again, we have a community, we're an amazing community. And I think it's one of the best communities that ever exists. But then I'm biased because I'm a Khoji as well. But if you tell somebody, go and do this, they will say, not with a Khoja. Why not? They're the ones who are going to pray for you, are they not? Who's going to pray in Nawaz Janazah? The same people. Yet we do not trust them. They are probably the most trustworthy people around. But we don't trust, and therefore it creates this thing of distrust in us. Okay, anyway. So these people are trustworthy. You'll be able to give them your greatest of secrets. They will take away the husk, keep the core, and it'll be fine. There'll be no problem at all. It won't be in Khoja news, okay? Oh, okay. All right. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. Now, we talked about they have khushu in salah, right? There's an awe of who they're talking to. This means they protect their salah. How do you protect your salah? So if I'm reading my wajibat, my nafila protects it. My shab protects my other salah. With my salah, I will do 2 extra rakats. If I can't manage any of the nafila, at least after Isha, I can do 2 rakats sitting down. It doesn't matter what mustahab salah you do. Somebody was asking me about all these salahs that you recite in Shaban and Ramadan. They say 12 rakats and 4 rakats and 8 rakats. do as many as you can. 2, enough. It's entirely up to you. But this is what they do. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ. They're the ones who will inherit Jannah. الَّذِينَ يَرِثُونَ الْفِرْدَوْسَ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Now, Firdaus is a Farsi word. It actually means the best of gardens. And gardens only happen. Remember, this talked about harvest. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Gardens only happen when you look after them. And this is what you get at harvest time, the best of gardens. Okay, so we looked at, if you look at your building, you have 1 to 11, which talks about the qualities of those who believe, and it gives you 6 qualities, and we'll go on to the next 5 or 8, 7 qualities later on. Okay, the second section, now this section tells you, all right, you know these 6 qualities, but now reflect on creation. The only way to develop any quality is to reflect. So it says, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ سُلَالَةٍ مِنْ طِينٍ. Do you understand that we created you from clay, from earth? That's what we created you. Then if you look at ayah 14 and 15, or rather 14, the whole of 14, you will find it talks about how a baby develops. So let's have a look at it just for a minute so you can look at it, right? So the first thing the baby is a nutfa. A nutfa is a drop of sperm. Then it becomes an alaka. You know Surah Al-Alaq, Surah number 96. Alika is like a leech. So it's like a leech who hangs on to the womb. Then it says, فَخَلَقْنَا الْعَلَكَ مُزْغَ. Muzgha means something chewed up. It looks like chewed up chewing gum. Have you seen pictures of babies? You know, you say, how sweet. It's not sweet. That's a chewed up chewing gum. فَلَخَلَقْنَا الْمُزْغَ إِزَامًا. Please look at the word fa. فَخَلَقْنَا الْمُزْغَ إِزَامًا. Then this chewed up thing becomes bones. There's a structure that becomes, okay. فَكَسَوْنَا الْعِذَامَ لَحْمًا. Then we cover those bones with flesh. Now no more fa. Now, ثُمَّ أَنْشَأْنَاهُ خَلْقًا آخَرَ. And then suddenly now it becomes a creation of its own. فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. What an amazing creator he is. When was this written? 1400 years ago. There was nothing, no scans that could tell them how a baby's progress went. If you don't believe in the Quran, this takes you to the Quran. So it says, this is how he created you. You're the best of my creations. But then, ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ لَمَيِّتُونَ. You will die. Whether you like it or not, you will die. And then, ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ تُبْعَثُونَ. And you will be raised. So if you are born, you will die. If you will die, you will be raised. Khalas. So it's telling me if I'm raised, I want to be raised with these 13 qualities. So it's a tick box. I've sent it to you on WhatsApp, so hopefully you should have it. So here we go. The second section now talks about your reflection on creation. Please look at your thing. The third section is still... Let's continue the second section, by the way. Let's look at reflection on creation. It talks about you looking at palm trees and grapes. You've got some stickers there. It looks at the olive tree. It says the tree that grows out of Mount Sinai and produces oil. I'm going to rush over this because I want to finish. It talks about cows and how you get milk from them. It says just for a minute, sit down and reflect. Have a look and see what happens. Then in the third section, it talks about prophets. So the first section was the first 6 qualities of a believer. The second section was reflection on creation. Now it says look at history. And the first person it looks at history is Prophet Noah. It says we sent down Noah. And if you look at ayah 27, you've got a sticker for an ark. And he was told to build an ark. And they laughed at him. And this is a dua that I need you to learn. You've got dua hands for it. Rabbi anzilni munzala mubarakan wa anta khairul munzilin. Stick it in your car if you don't have time to read it. Make a sticker. We'll try and make a sticker for you. But stick it in your car. You can't remember it? At least you can remember 23, 29. Write it down in your car. Write it down when you walk. Rabbi anzilni munzala mubaraka wa anta khairul munzilin. Right? I'd like to go into all these, but anyway, let's see how far we can get into each of them. Okay. Right. Next one. Next reflection. Why did they reject Prophet Nuh? So let's have a look at ayah 37, right? So they said, In hiya illa hayatuna dunya namutu wa nahya wa ma nahnu bimab'uthin. We don't understand. There is nothing but our life in this world. We die, we live, and we won't be raised again. Go back to what I was saying. If you are born, you will die, and you will be raised again. So if you look at the flip side, those who do not believe, this is their first argument. The first argument is, this is the life of the world. Who said that we will be raised again after death? So we don't believe in accountability. So they don't believe in accountability. Okay. Next one. فَقَالُوا أَنُؤْمِنُ لِبَشَرٍ مِثْلَنَا وَقَوْمُهَا لَنَا عَابِدُونَ. Really? We should believe in people who are like us. Now this is talking about Musa and Harun. They look just like us. They're human beings. So they're trying to say, we will only believe if they're angels. Many times you and I say, we will only believe if there is a miracle that we will see. It's exactly what these people said. So if you look at it, this is talk about Musa and Harun. And maybe I can go a little bit further. In basically they're saying that they are not elitist. We are elite. These two, how can they be people we follow? So they're not posh enough for us, basically. And Allah says, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ. We gave him a book so that they may be guided. You and I got this book. And the reason why you and I are here today is that we're trying to understand this book a little bit more. These people didn't want to understand it. Okay, 57. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ هُمْ مِنْ خَشَّةِ رَبِّهِمْ مُشْفِقُونَ. Now we're looking at the rest. We looked at the first 6. We're now going to look at number 7, okay? So number 7 is that these people are God conscious. Now, if I can translate mushfikun, shafaka is to shake. When they think of their Rabb, they shake. Now, is it shaking in fear? Are we scared? If I call him Rahman and Rahim, am I scared? I'm scared of what? I'm in awe of him. I'm scared of what? I'm scared of doing something that is not in line with what I should be doing. I'm scared of crossing the line, basically. So here it says, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ هُمْ مِنْ خَشْيَةِ رَبِّهِمْ. I know the translation doesn't make sense. Khashya, they have khushu for their Rabb. They're in awe of their Rabb. And they shake, actually shake. Right? If you listen to majalis, and you probably do just like I do, you will see they will tell you when all the aimma were doing wudu, they would shake. When they were praying, they would shake with, it wasn't fear, it was awe, right? Okay, next one. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ يُؤْمِنُونَ. They believe in the ayat of their Rabb. You know, one of the greatest things the Quran does, and this is ayah 58, by the way, you can draw a Quran there. Every single Muslim, be it whatever sect they come from, they believe in the Quran. I've just come back from Umrah, and I noticed even sitting amongst people who are not Tashayyo, who are of different countries possible, the Quran meant if you started reading Quran, they would read with you. It didn't matter where they came from. It didn't matter who they were and where they were. You just sit in a corner, you picked up the Quran, they would come around you if you read it loudly. Right? It didn't matter who they were. So the Quran is a unifier. It's something everybody believes in. The sad bit about, well, at least when I'm looking at myself, is not being able to understand it the way I should. So those people who go to Jannah, who Jannah is guaranteed, they believe in every line this book says. The only way you can believe in something is to know it. Right, next one. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ بِرَبِّهِمْ لَا يُشْرِكُونَ. They never associate anything with their Rabb. Never. So he is always uppermost in their minds. We'll talk about shirk one day when we come to the other surahs. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْتُونَ مَا آتُوا وَقُلُوبِهِمْ وَجِلَةٌ أَنَّهُمْ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ رَاجِعُونَ. Now there are three things here. Number one, they give whatever they can. Whatever extra they have, they give. Number one, okay? Number two, their hearts are inclined towards Allah. Again, you will see wajila, it's inclined towards Him. And they know they will return to Him. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. You know, when death happens, when we hear of death, somewhere in our subconscious, we think it's not going to happen to us. And even if we know it is, we think, not now. This only happens to others, not to us. But these people are absolutely sure that they're not sure whether they're going to wake up tomorrow or not. Okay? Or they're going to see tomorrow or not. Next thing. أُولَٰئِكَ يُسَارِعُونَ فِي الْخَيْرَاتِ. Whenever there is something good, they run to do it. وَهُمْ لَهَا سَابِقُونَ. And they win. I don't know how to put this. So if I saw something on the floor, I can't because the floor is quite clean today. Do I run to pick it up? And if I run to pick it up, believe me, you will be the first to pick it up. That's how it works. I repeat this and I say it all the time. There was a time many, many years ago when I moved here from Chelmsford, and we had a time in between whereby we had the house here wasn't done and the children had to come to school here. So I had to drive from Chelmsford to here. I had nowhere to go, so I used to sit in the car park. And I used to watch this old man. And this old man used to go around the car park, because I used to park in the car park, wait for the children to finish school. This was the only place that had free parking, right? So I used to park at the back, have food in the car, and the little one was in the car. He was only a few months old. And I remember this old man used to come in the morning and used to go around the car park and used to pick up everything from there, whether it was cups or whatever it was, plates, and he used to put them in the bin. It was many, many, many months later that I realized this was Bapa Dharamsi. Maybe you know him, right? Bapa Dharamsi used to pick all that up. And this was the man who owned so many buildings in Dar es Salaam and gave them away to orphans and widows and then came here, right? So a man who was probably a multi-billionaire, millionaire, whatever you want to call him, used to come every morning and pick up everything in the car park. To me, this is what it's called about. Good deeds, and you know they won. And I have no doubt that he's probably chilling in Jannah now, right? Okay, good. All right, recite the Surah Al-Fatiha when you've got some time. وَالْقُلُوبِهِمْ فِي غَمْرَةٍ مِّنْ هَذَا. Now, these are these people who don't believe. Okay, so let's have a look at ayah 63. You've got it? Now I'm going to talk about those on the opposite side, on the flip side. They don't have these 13. Okay, so these are the people who are always distracted, who are always preoccupied in other things. If you tell them, come and do this work, they will say, we're too busy. We don't have time. Come and read the Quran. We don't have time. We're too elite. We're distracted. Anything other than the Quran. And if you look further, it tells you that they just don't want to understand the Quran. They don't want to understand. They don't have time for it right now. Okay. All right. Here we go. قَدْ كَانَتْ آيَاتِ تُتْلَى عَلَيْكُمْ فَكُنْتُمْ عَلَىٰ أَعْقَابِكُمْ تُنْكِصُونَ. When my ayat was recited, you just turned away. You hated talking about the Quran. You thought, oh God, not again. Religion again. Are you serious? It didn't matter. Okay. 67. Mustakbirin. So the other problem is arrogance. One is no accountability. Two, we don't believe in the signs of Allah. And three, there is arrogance, and all we do is all night we talk about nothing. Look, I'm not judging. I'm looking at myself first. So in Ramadan, right? If I'm going to spend the whole night, because I say, somehow in my head, I think sleeping is thawab. You've heard that, haven't you? Allegedly, you get all these thawabs. So I'll sleep all day until 4:30, and then I'll wake up, and I'll pray my Zohar Asr and my Maghrib Isha, and then I'll have my fast. And then I will play games all night until Sehri. Really? Are you serious? That's what this is talking about. Okay? And then I think I'm doing some good deeds. I don't know. Everybody to themselves. Okay. What is the other problem they have? قالوا إذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أئنا لمبعوثون. They say, are you serious? We're going to die and become dust. And then we'll be raised again. So they don't believe in akhirah. Okay? And these are the words that you should highlight in yellow. Rabbi فلا تجعلني في القوم الظالمين. Don't place me with the people who are unjust to themselves. Rabbi أعوذ بك من همزات الشيطان. I take refuge. And the next week, when we're coming to 15th of Shaban, these are the best du'as to look at. And look at what they say. This is a reflection of Surah Al-Munafiqun. When you get time, I know I don't have too much time, but when you get time, look at Surah Al-Munafiqun right at the end. If you look at, I'll tell you exactly what ayah you can look at. Look at ayah 10 to 11 in Surah Al-Munafiqun, which is Surah number 63. Hatta idha ja'a ahadul maut. When they are faced with death, qala, they say, Rabbi irji'uni, my Rabb, send me back. La'alli a'malu salihan, so that I may do good deeds. Fima taraktu, that I left behind. And the answer will be, kalla, no. Innaha kalimatun, you are only talking, these are only your words. Wa mi wara'ihim barzakhun ila yawma yub'athun, and there'll be a barrier until you die. So for you and me, we still have time. You've still got a little bit of life left, right? And the life you've got left, do as much good as you can. Okay, now he says, إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَرِيقٌ مِّنْ عِبَادِي يَقُولُ. And these are du'as that we can read. رَبَّنَا آمَنَّا فَاغْفِرْ لَنَا وَارْحَمْنَا وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. A good du'a to use in, and you've got du'a hands, by the way, that you can stick there. This is a du'a that can use in kunut. And then you find back to these people because they laugh at them. فَاتَّخُذُوا مِنْ سَخْرِيًّا حَتَّى عَنْسُوكُمْ ذِكْرِي وَكُنْتُمْ مِنْهُ تَضْحَكُونَ. And they laugh at you. When you say, forgive me, you do du'as, you pray, they laugh at you. They say, what are you doing? And finally, the last one. رَبِّ اغْفِرْ وَارْحَمْ وَأَنْتَ خَيْرُ الرَّاحِمِينَ. Again, another dua you can use in kunut. I'd like you to look at ayah 117. Just have a quick look at it, okay? It says, وَمَنْ يَدْعُ مَعَ اللَّهِ إِلَهًا آخَرَ لَا بُرْهَانَ لَهُ بِهِ فَإِنَّمَا حِسَابُهُ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِ. And what does it say that last bit? إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الْكَافِرُونَ. It started with falah, it ends with falah. It starts with who is definitely got falah, and it ends with who doesn't have falah. And ends with those who cover up the truth, okay? So you've got it in your WhatsApp group. You've got these 13 things. It's like a tick box. I'll go over it very quickly. I've got about 2 minutes. So first one, if I told you, give me those 13. The first one is there's khushu in salah, which means when you pray, there is a sense of awe. And the sense of awe can only be created. I was born in a house where my grandmother, she was the matriarch of the family, but she used to make sure that before salah, it was quiet. You could do what you want. She never imposed on us. But it was quiet. And everybody knew this is salah time. No food was served before salah. I have a daughter-in-law who's absolutely phenomenal. Come rain, come shine, come whatever. One thing I notice about her is that her 5 prayers, it doesn't matter who is sitting and doing what. She will pray those 5 prayers on time, on the deck. I just watch her in awe. I really do. And it doesn't matter if those kids, I mean, they're my grandchildren, okay? If those kids could be doing whatever, she will stop everything and she will pray. So that, to me, is your first one. The second one, they avoid anything that's unproductive. And again, that is up to you and me. We make our own decisions of what is productive and what is not unproductive. Sometimes you just want to sit down and have a cup of coffee. That's you. You need that break. But sometimes just sitting doing nothing. It's entirely up to you. The third thing is they are continually improving themselves. Right? You've got 3? Right. Number 4. They avoid anything that is disrespectful. Anything that doesn't suit their integrity as to who they are. And they respect family life. Number 5, they're trustworthy. They keep their promises. Very, very trustworthy. Number 6, they pray extra salawat to protect their wajibat. Okay, so they're always there. Number 7, they're God conscious. When I say God conscious, mushfiqeen means they shake in awe, right? It doesn't matter whenever that is. Number 8, they believe in the signs of Allah. They know the Quran is a unifier. Doesn't matter what, who, what, which, when. And like I said, I understood that when I went amongst people who I didn't even know. The moment somebody started Quran, everybody came to sit near them. It was just amazing. The look, the way everybody knew Quran. It was just something else. Okay, number 9, they do no shirk. They don't associate anybody with Allah. Number 10, they give whatever they have. Whatever they have. Number 11, they're in awe of Allah. Okay. Number 12, when I say awe, their hearts incline towards Allah. Number 12, they know they will die one day. Absolutely sure that they will be accountable. They will return to Allah. And finally, the last one, whenever they see an opportunity to do good, they run. And they will win. Okay? So it's not rocket science. And I'm hoping that when you see something, let me give you one small example, just a small example. So when you come here and there's loads of people, Ashura, maybe now in Ramadan, maybe Laylatul Qadr, and you see people come here. When you go out, do you rush to get your shoes, or do you wait for somebody who's older or somebody who's got children to go first? Or when you come in, do you say, Amari jagache? Or do you let somebody else sit and you say, well, I need my place? No, you don't. Somebody else may do better with your place. It's those little things that make a difference. Okay, so that's what the last one is about. Inshallah, we will get there. I'm told we will have classes in Ramadan as well. Now, next week, I'd like to start what we're going to do in Ramadan with the children. I'll bring you the poster that we're doing, but we're doing a surah which is known as Suratul Hujurat. Have any of you heard it? So with the children, we'll be doing Surah Al-Hujurat. So I'd like to do that next week with you. And in Ramadan, what I'd like to do, if that's all right with you, is that I'm hoping all of you read a juz of Quran. If not a juz of Quran, when I say juz, sipara you call it, right? Sipara, para, juz. So instead of doing, even if you read a little bit of that juz, I'd like to do one ayah from that juz. So by the end of the 30 days, we know 30 ayat. Is that all right with you? Yeah? So this ayah stands out in this juz, and we'll talk about it, and we'll do a chart for you. So next week, what we're doing in Ramadan with the children will be Surah Al-Hujurat. It hasn't got many ayat at all, so we'll do every single one of those ayat. And I will bring you the charts for Ramadan that we will do with the children, and inshallah you will learn them as well. Are you good with that? Yes, no, maybe, perhaps? Oh, thank God for that. Okay. Can we end with Surah Al-Fatiha? Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'een. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين صدق الله العظيم جزاكم الله خير